We're on. Of course.
We're in an outhouse.
Yeet.
Oh, yeah. I think that's all the recap we need, right?
Yep.
Party's in an outhouse, it's been 2 weeks. Right. No, but Ashta explained about the Ix thing and to the party, and party protested. Ashta's like, nope, sticking with it. Esther made an offer to help if the Ix get too big and need to be broken up. And then there was conversation about families, various sorts. Ashta's parents, Esther's family being adopt-happy, and her mom trying to fight us as a warrior, or at least Ashta. And if she challenges any of us, accept it. Don't deny it. Don't turn it down. Talk about Caius's family. Apparently he lost most of his family in the span of about 3 years, and his dad was a wrestler of at least some kind of fame. I don't know how that's gauged. Anyway, there's a little detour over a basket of fruit and weirdness, just because we are what we are. We met with our squads. They're willing to follow us, but more details to come. And we got a direct telepathic line to the Inquisitor of the Archdruid, who is, of course, interested in the Tomb of Jack, and so he's all on board. Teleported us there, and we're going to fly it back if we can clear it out and get it working. There's 2 species of something in the castle. Children of Dragons, found out about those, and Cattle of Giants, which is bird ? Apparently we found out that Yemma glows when she teleports, or at least when it's done or started around her, not when somebody ends the teleportation nearby. So that's an interest. Esther gave the possible bomb to one of Rosalind's squad, who makes it less likely to go accidentally kaboom. We teleported to the castle, and started out in an outhouse. There's a small town one way that's kind of collapsed and broken, and the castle up a hill, closer to the castle than the town, the island maybe about 30 miles across. And then we saw the birds, the cattle of giants, probably. These bright feathery things, sometimes they'd meet up with darker winged things, small black dragons, in the distance, and they'd fight and one would fall. Thorn got poofed by a dragon, and a gold feathery bird thing followed after Ashta during the scouting and return, and has fame. His name is Alarion. He's very simple, it seems, but does speak. Puts fires out, protects buildings, apparently refers to this as a duty or a job. Has smelled/seen Beau before, but he's been invisible if he's around. Larion's gonna go get some friends so we can be allowed into the castle, which is kind of their nesting, their roosting area. So we set up camp in the outhouse in the meantime, just to have cover from the dragons instead of going to the town and then all the way back that distance and then some to the castle. So we're staying put. Oh right, I made a note, Rosalind got a usage of Oni repellent, but that's more for my sake. Aside from that, I think that's pretty much everything. We just finished setting up camp. We've got a pavilion up that's got a little camouflage action and is solid. And I think there was talk out of game of, like, checking out the immediate area or something. I can't remember, it's been 2 weeks. Let's go do this.
Totally fair. Alright, real quick before we officially begin narrating. Forgot to mention at the end of last session, everyone take 1500 experience.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Because you have finally reached the castle.
Shit.
T, that includes you.
Sorry.
T's
Sorry.
probably.
Hi. No, I'm here. What was it?
1500
Where
experience,
am
go
I
ahead.
castle?
Top right. Like way top right.
Wait, press on the experience points?
Yeah.
Yep, just
I'm
add,
so close, that hurts.
add 1500.
To whatever your
Add
total currently
1500.
is.
If it's a new character sheet, there might not be a total yet.
Yep, I'm checking right now.
Okay.
Alright, but you guys seem to have time to yourselves.
Wait, should I let you check, or?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna check, go ahead.
Okay.
Yema, you have arrived at the castle. It is massive. I believe I mentioned about, was it 24 miles across, easily from any direction?
You said the island was like 30 miles across,
Yeah.
easily, in any direction. So yeah.
Ah, I gave you the wrong experience. That's why it's that way. Okay. Um, but yeah, so it's about 30 miles across. In the kind of center across from you guys, there's this very deep bowl shape with some kind of lake. Out far to the left, about 20 miles, actually closer to 15, there is a village. Not quite sure the scale of it due to the distance. And on the other side to the right, about 5 miles away, there's a massive castle. But for now, you have set up in the outhouse with the squads, and you are free to do as you wish.
Alright.
I still would like to talk with Yema.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get the map out.
Quick, Conrad.
Take your time. We can do somebody else's thing first.
Sorry. Hold on. Try to.
Conrad.
Yep, what's up?
You said it was 30 miles in any direction?
30 miles across, sorry.
30 miles across. Okay.
It's a relatively circular, is kind of what I meant to say. It's like diameter, that's the word.
Okay.
And yeah, I fixed your experience.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you. I see that. I'm just trying. My computers were acting slow, and I'm just trying to maneuver the map right now.
Okay.
As
You don't need to worry about the map right now. It's not the island. It's just the standard world map.
Are we not in the castle? Should I not? Wait.
I haven't put
Oh.
the map up. That's why.
No, you know what? I was thinking of Devon's map. That's why I thought this. Okay, I'm mixing up the two. This. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Never mind.
No worries. All right.
Okay.
Technical.
So just for reference, just like looking on the map, we're like this island is like half as big, or maybe a third as big as the entirety of the Patchwork Forest. Yeah, just like note that.
Yeah. But it's huge.
Okay.
Not subtle
Like-
at all. Got it.
Like you could walk one end to the other without stopping for 8 hours, and you still have 6 miles left.
Yeah. No, just I was wondering how obvious or not obvious us going anywhere would be, and the answer is very.
Might depend on
Yeah.
cloud cover, if there are any.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Look,
Yeah.
look.
We have to find a really nice cloud and help with going the direction we're going.
Clouds can get like hundreds of miles wide without shooting, honestly. So
Yeah,
close to
but-
the coast.
I mean more so that we would be undetectable rather than just.
Or-
Yeah.
I mean,
Like anyone who knows we'd be in the area could probably find us.
potentially. By the way, Ashley, go ahead and roll me just quick, what would you consider tactics? Intelligence, history?
Tactics?
Yeah, like battle tactics. What would you consider that?
Something wisdom.
I would
Something
say
wisdom?
Oh god, I don't know. It might depend on how you've learned them.
I'd say, yeah, yours is probably wisdom based, so go ahead and roll a wisdom check of something you're proficient with.
Check.
Insight?
Okay.
Well, fuck.
Alright, no worries.
We're off to that.
Yep.
Shit.
You ended
out of
on
the way.
that last time with that face palm. Look at that.
And all is even in the world. Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Fuck off.
Not really.
Very much not.
No.
Well, it's balanced against Devin's favor, so I can say. Alright, so.
Not how that word works.
Oh,
Crit
Um,
magnet.
Esther, you wanted to go to Yema?
Yes.
Alright. So, Yema, as you're kind of sitting in this very large, pretty much run down outhouse, with the squads milling around you in this kind of tent cover, see Esther kind of
Okay.
walk up to you.
Yama,
Yes.
you were glowing when we teleported. Why is that?
It is something that happens while I teleport. It is part of, I guess, my mechanism and
What do you mean by mechanism?
my teleportation mechanism.
You have a device?
Well, it's kind of like I'm the device.
Ah, I see. Is this because of your patron?
Yes.
So, is your patron one of teleportation? Or planar something or the other?
No. My patron is not a teleportation. However, I teleport. It was essentially a power given to me.
I see. And you said this happened around 2 years ago for you, right?
Right.
And you have no memories of any prior times before those 2 years.
Right.
Can I roll an insight check?
Sure, go ahead. Let's see that insight. 21.
Neat.
Alright. Yama, how honest are you being?
Hold on. Are you asking me that question as in like how honest I am?
How honest were you? What you just said to Esther, how honest were you being?
Very honest. Like honest. That's the truth.
Okay. Just double checking.
Yeah, totally fair. I don't blame you.
I'd like to try something. If you
God,
would be
Ariel,
willing.
your laugh is so creepy sometimes.
I'm sorry.
Conrad,
Yes?
DM question. I
Sure.
remember you had said that there's a possibility to connect with Aquarius over the fact that we both died. Can I try to do that with Yama, just to see if she has?
I meant more socially, but sure.
Is there a way to that?
How do you plan to go about it? You tell me.
Yo, you ever been dead?
Do you think it's possible that you might have died in the past?
You know, send it a small talk.
Just come right in. Yeah, you know.
Casual like for us, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's very casual. Some people ask like, hey, you know, like, what do you do for a living? No, it's like, Esther asks, hey, have you died before? It's like, oh, it's very, yeah.
Esther has a lot of trauma, okay?
Esther also has no tact.
Yep.
So, damn it, you've been asked, have you died before?
Oh wait, that was legit? I thought you were
Welcome
contemplating.
to Esther.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome to Esther.
I have not died before.
But are you positive of that? I just don't understand why you have no memories from 2 years prior.
It was probably for the better. For my role, I don't think I could have attached memories to it, to myself.
What do you mean for your role? What role do you play?
I play the role of stability, and I know I keep saying that, but it means to settle things in wherever I am. And right now it looks like me traveling with the group of you, and whatever you guys are trying to achieve is what I am directed to.
By your patron.
Yes.
And do they go by any other name other than the father? Or is that all they go by?
It is easier if it's just known as the father. That's it.
But I would be more secure in the fact if I knew their actual name. I won't judge you, I promise. And if you desire, I won't say anything to anybody. But I personally would feel comfortable knowing who it is that you follow.
Hmm.
And in return, I will tell you mine.
Should I roll an insight too?
Go ahead.
So insight is to basically try to
Do you
read someone.
see if they're lying? Yeah.
Not necessarily see if they're lying. To read
But yeah.
Hold on, John.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
Because where my brain went, like, do I trust Esther?
yeah, go ahead. Roll ahead insight.
Okay, let's do this.
Let me see that roll.
Oh Lord, she coming.
Below history, above intimidation. Ooh.
Oh.
All right, 25 with natural 20.
That's
Nice.
being brutally honest.
And on top of that, you've, as far as the brief time you've known her, you've never known her to hide anything, even emotionally. So it's reasonable to assume she can be trusted.
Okay.
Welcome
I'm
home.
just trying. I'm just trying to figure out. Remember the name of my patron.
I will remind you that you don't know the name.
Oh, wait. I thought okay. So Esther, I don't know the name of my patron. I just know them as the father. And I say this in his voice because I'm like, ah, shit, I fucked up my own character.
It's okay, it happens.
Well, if you don't know their name, do you at least know what they appear to look like? Any form that they might take? Or do they just speak to
Yema. Go ahead.
I'm thinking of the answer.
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check to see if you can remember anything.
Okay.
Just raw intelligence.
Hold on. 1 second. I'm finding it. Insight, intimidation, investigation, intelligence. There it is.
Even further to the left. There we go. You, as far as you can recall, even searching with memories that you feel should be there but aren't, there is no image to them. There's only a feeling. And a clicking sound. Like someone is tapping their finger on a metal desk. But past that, nothing.
Okay. So, to Esther, I don't know what my patron looks like. All there is a feeling and some noises I can remember. A clicking noise.
Well, I suppose that's fair enough. I can't exactly tell you the face of who I worship either. They're more of a feeling, I suppose. Oh, it's a desert. society, I suppose, now anyways. But I understand. I'm just relatively curious, that's all.
And very valid so.
But if you'd like, we can work on finding your memories together. It would be nice if you could remember them, at least I think. Even if they are traumatic, sometimes it's better to know and to be at peace with it than to never know and be upset with it. Out of character. Welcome to the family. You have been adopted.
That was really wholesome. I was like, wow. You want to help
course,
Yellow find
yeah.
her memories?
Esther
I'm
loves
just,
you.
I'm
Of
debating.
course.
And I'm debating if Yama does want to find her memories.
Regardless, I know we were a bit suspicious of you, but you seem like a good soul. Which we're trying to do for the sake of stability. I hope that we can at least support you in that. I know Ashta specifically might not be as open. It's taken months, but I do hope that in due time you're going to start feeling a bit more welcome. It took us all a while to find our place.
I see. And that's okay.
Welcome to Big Feel Hours. Esther loves her children.
Her very lost, very amnesiac children.
Exactly. Alright, that's pretty much all. Wait, does Yama have fame?
They do?
Yeah, I'd like to try
The
something.
Yama has fame. Does has fame.
Yama, can I try something?
Wait, was that to me or Conrad?
To you.
Yes, you can try something.
Esther's gonna send out her fan and ask them to come and go.
Alright. So, yeah, you get a familiar question is breast mingle, meaning to your fame. You can share thoughts.
Esther's gonna ask Yama's fame for her own. Is
Oh,
it
first of all, Yama, I assume you say yes.
Yes.
Esther's gonna ask
Do you hear me?
Yama.
Yes.
It's,
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Esther will ask Yama's fame if it's possible to look back through her memories or if it's blocked as well from the fame.
You feel the fan kind of come forward for a second, and Yama, you can hear this, of course. They mentioned that the way the Fae understand a mind, it's like you're kind of standing somewhere, and you have to actually find something to understand it. So they've tried digging into the ground, seeing if they could find the old memories, but nothing is accessible, at least on their effort. If you have a way to help, they'll take it.
Can my fame aid in that like theoretical digging process? Would it add more power to it or no?
Many hands make work quick.
Well, I'll lend my fame then for the moment to see if I can dig.
Alright. Let's see. Esther, make me intelligence check. Make charisma.
Fuck. Sorry, intelligence and charisma?
Yama's gonna make the charisma check.
You did cut out on
Okay.
Yema's name, so.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. 1 sec.
Sorry, I can't quite tell when I cut out.
I know.
Tis chill, my dude. Tis Gucci poppin'.
Yeah.
Sky, I'm gonna request that you forget how to speak.
I hated every
You
word
cut
of that,
out,
Sky.
everyone. You cut out. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you.
That's fine.
I'm being legitimate. You did.
I know. um, so, how much time are you going to dedicate towards this, Esther?
I'd say maybe. How long do we have?
You don't know?
Well, whatever until shit starts hitting the fan. I guess when things start happening.
Okay. So, I'm going to ask in the meantime.
Well, yeah. Well, that I was gonna say. While that's going on, is it possible for Kais to eke in a bit of training?
Sure. Is there anything else that's short term, other than basically killing time, that anyone else wants to do?
How short term?
If you say training, I'll move on past, basically.
It's not training, but it is just a mention of like the first hour would be
Sure.
getting Thorn back. That's it. Nothing
Okay, sure.
role playing. Just that's out there.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to like aid in like combat training, since that's what I'm doing, then they're free. They're free too. If Kais would probably ask Ashka if he wants to go.
Maybe that
just-
could be the first hour or something, because I
I was
wanted
gonna
to talk to Ashka
Yeah.
about something
Yeah.
after getting Thorn back.
At
Sure.
the beginning,
Yeah. No
well,
problem.
someone else.
before Caius.
Take your time if you.
Caius, I will also remind you, if you'd like, you do have your squads there.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'll do that in the time being then. But yeah, he kind of does want to get a couple rounds in with Ashta, just so he
Sure.
you
don't have to, just
have
remind me.
familiarity for his weapons. Yeah. So he'll train with the squad for a little bit in strong style. How many hours can I put in that then?
We'll get to everyone's thing first.
Yeah,
then
we're worrying about the long
Yeah.
later.
I'm just saying for.
Yeah, I'll let you know in hand.
Okay, so real quick, Ash is just going to be going around. He might have like cut into Esther and Yama's conversation, but just to everyone that we need to be taking patrols and watches. We can't have everyone sitting back and doing nothing.
in the middle of her
And
ritual
your
when he comes up. As soon as I'm done with this.
Yep.
I guess I'll offer to take first watch if that's.
Yeah.
Let me
Well,
know when you need
well,
me.
it's not watch, it's patrol. It's walking out around the general area and making sure it's not just kind of like standing where we are, because we have like 20, 30 bodies to do that. And
Yeah.
Ash
Okay. Then.
is going to command at least his squad to take rotations of being on lookout in the general area.
Okay. So they offer to take
Obviously,
basically one in each direction, like at each wall of the outhouse, and just stand watch. And 2 resting, and the last 2 out patrolling, if you're okay with that formation.
He'd rather put he'll put 1 more on the patrol.
Okay.
And just have just 1 person on this. Like, do we have like a single entrance to the place?
You have 1, but more can be opened up.
Okay.
But it is 4-walled.
Okay. Well, he'll take 1 off of that, 2 on each side, and just position them on the corners rather than the sides, just so they get a larger view.
Sure, fair enough.
Get that peripheral being used.
Yeah. So like 1 in the front and then 1 in each back corner, I assume.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And yeah, past that, he will also recommend though that the the party checks out as well, because we are just any one of us is equal more than 2 or 3 of the squad people going out on patrol.
Yep, this is basically to make a passive watch for you guys. As well, for your squad, Ashta, roll me a D100.
100. 52.
Feels
Alright.
diabolical when you say roll a D100.
Alright, so for the majority of the time, your squad, the patrols, don't see anything. But what would be the passive perception of your squad? Just let me know when you pull it up.
Yeah, I'll open that real quick.
Yep. Is anyone else going to volunteer to take 1 of the patrols or the watches?
Kais will volunteer.
Okay. Anyone who's going to, go ahead and roll a D100.
Ashel honestly kind of stressed that he's not taking volunteers. Everyone is going for a check.
Okay.
Walk with conversation if you want. Take at least 1 person with you from the party.
Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna have more D100 to be rolled, and we'll use John's.
If anyone's
Alright.
got a better idea, feel free. But for now, we need to be on the lookout at all times.
Okay.
So, after those kind of initial clashes you guys saw of the flying troops, there's not a ton. And Jim, you'll kind of be the one who knows when the birds come back. No, you can each take up to 5 hours of training.
You broke up a lot. What did you
Yeah,
say?
you roboted pretty hard.
Sorry. Well, good now?
Not quite.
Ah.
Okay.
It's just
Yes.
there we go. So, Kais, you'll be the one who notices the birds when they come back. But
The-
you got
they
each
come back?
5 hours of training.
5 hours training.
5 hours of free time to use as you wish. I assume most of you use it for training. Kais, if you're working with your squad, you'd be able to double those hours, or for
Of note,
I'll be able to double the effort
how
by
much
training with the squad.
yes,
is that time already taking into account any time that all of us would be walking on patrol?
Yes.
Okay, good.
It
Thank
would.
you.
it's 6 hours till the birds return.
Mhm. Okay.
But it's 5 hours worth of free time you each have.
Yes, so that's 5 hours of the mind melt. What ended up being discovered?
Yeah, Kais will train with the squad and
Yep.
take the 10 hours from strong style.
Sounds good. So Esther, what you end up basically getting is not a ton, but you do get one thing. And yeah, you of course see this as well, because this is occurring basically in your mind. They basically, again, going back to that analogy, they unearth a memory, a very minor one. It's kind of like finding a particularly large rock. It's just of this peaceful moment. You're laying on what seems to be a beach of some kind with a jungle to your back, and a wide, wide ocean ahead of you. Sun's high in the sky, and there seem to be these merfolk or something, some kind of amphibious humanoid, the water and swimming through it. But otherwise, not much.
Just quick side question: who was the first one in the chat when you guys were joining?
Scott.
I was.
I was.
Okay. Do we want to maybe reconnect? Because I've been noticing that a few people have been kind of chugging a little. I'm wondering if it's having to do with the hosting.
Yeah, sure, might as well.
Sometimes.
Because it's not Conrad's usual drop in, drop out. It's like a kind of like consistent
Just
low
lag.
quality.
Alright. So who will be the first person? Probably Devin? 'Cause you have to get
Me
it
or
right.
Ariel. Me or Ariel, I think.
We'll go-
Yeah, that's usually the best. Okay.
Yep, so we'll go with Devon's.
Everybody
Alright.
out of the pool and back in after Devon. We gotta
You got
clean.
it. Okay.
We gotta clean the water. Guys, you didn't. Okay, there we go. Devon's gonna get back in, and then I'll follow. Okay.
All right.
Are we good now?
All right.
I think we're a bit better.
Very good. Okay.
Holy fuck, that's a lot better.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say maybe wait and have like Ariel join second and maybe like
I-
I join third, but
I don't
Yeah.
think past first it matters.
I think there's no yes or no to that.
Eh. Okay. We need. Tanya's not back yet. Can someone
Yep.
tell Tanya to get back in?
I'm looking up.
Okay.
Back in the pool, everybody.
No running. Wait, no. No running on the pool. That's what I'm trying to say.
Here we back.
We back?
No
Yeah.
running in my lobby, you motherfucker.
Esther's definitely got something to say to just real.
Alright. So as the get to the end of the time waiting. Emma,
Yes.
Esther is you've had this memory unearthed of you at the beach. And go ahead,
Okay.
Esther.
So you used to live near the water, at least at some.
Can
What?
you repeat that? I did something of water.
You used to live somewhere near the water at some point.
Yes.
Considering the sand, I'd say the edge of the desert. That's right next to the coast. And the
Okay.
merfolk. And for you, I think Conrad, you said close to the jungle, right?
Yep.
Considering that Esther would know, like, the outskirts of the desert, would she be able to kind of piece together where that might be?
Go ahead and roll me a. Let's go ahead with basically a history check.
Would it be history or survival if it's like location based?
Because it's not finding anything, it's just trying to remember where that would be. I'm going to call it history.
Alright.
Um,
I think she'd at least know
You can
what
always use your
direction.
feign. You can always use your feign, can't you?
yeah, you can always use your feign to get advantage.
I'm just trying to say the direction there, so.
I mean, you would know south of. If it is along the Obsidian Coast anywhere, yeah, if it's near the Obsidian Coast, southeast, or if it's somewhere in the desert continues past the southwest, like past where the maps really track on screen, because that's a different country.
Out of curiosity, it's a whole memory, right?
It's pretty much an image, almost like a GIF.
Okay. I was gonna say, is there any sense of smell or temperature or anything like that?
You can be able to get that. It's kind of what you expect from bait. It's noticeably less of a salty
It's like a
smell.
no.
It's a little bit less of a salty smell. It's closer to like this earthiness. But past that, it's just it's a beach.
But there's still a smell of salt.
Very slight, but yes. It doesn't smell like ocean salt, like where you get the seaweed to get the fish. It's a much more
Okay.
almost
Salt lake. Or a low salt thing. What about general temperature? Like, as you'd expect from a scene
Yeah.
like that?
warm, balmy, good beach weather, a little bit of wind, just enough to keep you cool.
Alright, well, that just means we're one step closer. If we can
Anyway,
get
yeah.
more people,
Oh, sorry.
if we can get more people to help with this theoretical, maybe we'll be able to unlock your memories even sooner than we thought.
Okay.
Alright, that's that. That's all I sort of wanted to do for
Okay.
I wanted to get sword shield training with Ashta, however much she's willing to give, but I also wanted to have a conversation because I've thought of things outside of game, and it's like, oh, this could be tactical, but Rosalind would have to bring it up with Ashta, so.
Okay, no worries, go ahead.
Yep. So I said in there, yep, 3 for sword and shield, if 1 for chess.
Okay, granted.
Just been decided.
So he would get 2 for the chess, and Rosalind will get 6 for the sword and shield.
But anyhow, the thing that was thought of, as I changed numbers, there we go, perhaps as they're doing the training, I don't know if that would be over the chess or over the sword and shield, whichever opportunity. How would she?
Maybe
how
the
would she
break
come
between the
across
two.
this? Yeah, maybe. How would she bring it up? I think it would be just the lead-in would just be I've thought of something as a possibility for potentially dealing with your little problem. that you mentioned this morning.
Which problem specifically?
The one
We
you
have
were...
a few on our table.
The one you were holding on to, and she taps her head.
Kind of like
I know-
pauses. Like,
I know you
Alright.
said that you want to see what information you can get from them. But if the time should come that you want or need them out, and the way to do it is through persuasion, through words or discussion, if there is any way I can lend my aid, I'll gladly do so. I don't know for certain. I would have to talk to my patron about this, but I had the thought, Archfey, at least some Archfey, have power over dreams and minds of some sort. Remember, we all met in my own dreams for that maze, that training that he gave us. The Fane helped, but I wondered, I don't know if this would work, but I wondered if, just in case, what if I could pass my Fane to another temporarily, one of our group, and then perhaps ask my patron's aid, and without Fane, without that danger of losing them, come into your mind when you're ready to deal with it and help you.
he kind of scrunches up his face a little. And it's a possibility, but I mean, Fane or not, I don't want you getting any closer to those things than you need to.
How close is too close?
Any at all?
You're standing right here. They're inside of you.
I am distinctly aware of that.
Ashta, there's a give and take to this. I realize perhaps you don't want to think that. That it's your job, of course, to see to my safety, and your desire to see to the entire groups, really. But sometimes we want to help you. And sometimes we have the tools or the training or something that could help you very particularly. I don't know.
I'm gonna try not to be as dense as to deny help when it would, all in all, let me do my job better.
This isn't about doing your job, Ashta. This is about you being all right.
It's, I guess I understand what you mean. I mean, I can certainly empathize. I feel it the same way for each and any of you. Just I don't know. Just doesn't feel like I should be the one needing help. Never has. Do my best to repay and keep things even, and I understand the want to make sure that people around you are okay, and I got myself into this, and it's because of that that I feel like risking me over risking anyone else is just not worth it.
You didn't get yourself into this deliberately. It was a trick of fate. It was chance. If I'd found that scroll first and happened to look into it first, it would be me, wouldn't it?
But I find myself wading deeper in the pool, so to say, out of I don't know what. I want to understand things better or find some answer to a question I don't even know, but
Then don't turn away a hand that's been extended.
if your patron can guarantee at least an amount of safety, if it's safe, at least reasonably. I understand there's never going to be absolutely no risk. But if there's a decent chance of it just turning worse and it spreading, or even just being divided but set to flourish in two people instead of one, then I can in good conscience accept that. But if there is some precautions taken, effective precautions, and if there is, like you said, if you can leave your Fane somewhere else and that could give you a much better chance, then I'd be willing to entertain the idea.
I'll talk it over with my patron the next opportunity. Thank you.
This is a situation I just wish I... That's the worst part.
You wish you what? You cut out, Devin.
I wish I knew more. I wish I knew the risks involved. I wish I could make a better call than I feel like I am.
Well, I suppose you can't have everything. For instance, I wish I knew where that dexterity goes whenever you are being called on to dance. You just trained me with sword and shield and you were all over the place and never once put a foot wrong, it seems. What happens? Honestly.
It's different. It's muscle memory, it's fluidity that's easier in some motions that not in others, and
Well, the fluidity is, I think, something natural, or at the very least, you've practiced enough you should be able to do it. If it's just muscle memory, then perhaps I should just teach you more.
Sway your hips.
you're not here. I mean, I've been trying to learn different methods from Caius. Just light on the feet, agility, things like that.
Certain dances aren't too different. Here, I'll show you the paces for just one, and then we can go and play some chess or something and train your mind to be just as agile.
You see, I can't help but feel like I'm going to be vastly outpaced by you in both these instances.
Consider it evening the odds, as you mentioned earlier, because you outpace me every time I pick up this shield. So, let me get my own back.
He's got like stretches like tactics and movement are supposed to be my thing, but I get what you mean. I think. I hope.
What's the funniest dance she could try to teach Ashta as a two-person thing? Open question.
The Macarena.
No, not the Macarena. Not like a stand there dance. It has to have footwork.
The tango.
The tango crossed with the, oh god.
Foxtrot.
Salsa.
Not what I was gonna say, but you know what? Foxtrot, sure.
I have got no visual reference for what that would look like as a
Neither do I,
cross.
but
Sure.
conceptually, I feel it.
It's a fantasy world. It can be anything. Let's do that.
Exactly.
I was waiting for the river dance to come in. But
It could just be anything. Yes, river dancing.
Nah, you gotta have the whole body. River dance is too rigid. Upper body, it's held too still. Nah, it's gotta be something full motion. So yes, she tries to teach him the steps to some dance that's some unholy combination of these two real-world dances.
It's actually a religious dance. No, I'm kidding.
The tango arms with the foxtrot legs.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go
That
back
just
to
hurt me to
summer
consider.
too.
Just the worst dancing. Really.
It hurt your hips.
It hurts my everything, honestly.
It hurts my soul.
So can I
No, that
please
died
see a
years ago.
dexterity check, just for the fun of it?
Roll a dexterity check for both of you. You don't get out of that.
Of course not.
Yeah. You don't get to escape. Oof.
Oh god!
Amazing. Amazing.
I was gonna say, watch it in your head.
So,
Wait.
squads who
I'm
had
away from
kind
my
of gathered around briefly
John, hold
to
on.
watch the fighting, the sparring between the two of them. They kind of tended to peter out and go back to their own thing, but enough of them were around to start seeing just
Oh,
the
no.
beginnings of this dance.
Oh no.
And the horrific ending, as Ashta, followed briefly by Rosalind, as they misplace their foot, Ashta trips into Rosalind, and they both trip into the arms of a dwarf.
Oh,
no.
fuck.
And he catches both of you, one on each arm, and swoons you both and puts you back up.
Beautiful.
Romance.
No!
As gonna like put that show on his feet, Ashton's one of your soldiers. He can like sets you and does like the pat down, like the pat on the shoulders, does the same thing to Rosalind and goes.
He takes a step to the side, just like adjusts his his front shirt, and just like as you were.
He nods his helmet, looks at Rosalind and goes, "Yeah, you fucked it up, not you." Walks away.
Thank you. That didn't go as well as I hoped.
Uh,
Maybe something easier next time. Chess?
Is he just
He's like not meeting the gaze off. Like,
training?
maybe practice is in order.
One more go? Or do you want to just break for chess at this point? How brave are you feeling after that?
Let out your aggressions through more dance.
He's just like, I'll let you know after the second attempt.
Okay, how badly can this... I shouldn't say that.
Oh my god, did that actually?
I shouldn't say that. This is gonna
You
be...
really shouldn't roll.
Oh god. Oh god, okay. Not so bad.
Alright, so. Leading to a much different dance. Embarrassment running wild in your veins.
As it's just like, okay, he's just like thinks to himself, okay, there's got to be something I can base this off of.
Yes. And eventually you get kind of like a square. It's a super fucking obscure thing, but it's called square boxing. Where you kind of like set up this area for yourself, and you never leave it. And kind of setting that a pattern to move around makes it a bit easier to visualize. Rosalind, on the other hand, you picked an easier dance, but it was a dance you learned as a child, so
Is
you're
Ash
not
the
the
square
best at
dancing?
remembering it. Not square dancing. It's not a square, but it is a. And Ashta, you're doing good. Like, well, functionally,
We
doing
lost you, Conrad.
Yeah, you're lagging out.
Yeah. Okay, I think the last thing we heard clearly from Conrad was a dance Rosalind learned as a child. Still
You're still a bit
bad.
rough.
Try again. No. Well, that was a thing.
Alright, better?
I think you're better.
Bit better.
Okay. So Rosalind, it's a dance you learned as a child to make it easier. But that being said, it's a dance you haven't done in years. Functionally, you're both doing the right things. Your timing is terrible. Your pizzazz is awful. And frankly, your form could use a ton of work. But you are moving in the correct motions.
Oh, if Rosalind was trying to put pizzazz in, it would probably be performance. She was just going steps.
True, and as a teaching method, that does definitely help. But once he gets the method down, he very quickly shows off his fancy feat.
Just, maybe let me set the pace here.
Yeah, and at that point, suddenly things are going a lot better, apparently. Alright, yep. Once that's done, and Rosalind has not humiliated him as much as she half expected, dragon chest time, and then it's just, I think that would be the end of their 5 hours. So yeah.
Kev, as they like finished it off, he's just like, okay, I think that went at least a bit better.
At least a bit. You had hidden talents.
Wouldn't call
Not
it
so
that.
hidden, really.
Chess.
I've got the board in my pack. Let's go.
Wisdom check.
Wisdom check.
Oh, God. Damn it! Damn it all.
Well, you can set up a dragon chest thing, Ashley. Just you're not proficient yet.
What's that?
You can set up a dragon chest button. Just you're not proficient yet.
I know, but might as well wait.
Okay,
It'll be my little gift to myself once I actually get proficient.
fair. Yeah, after all this time.
An hour. We could one more.
Yeah, I was about to say, Rosalind is not doing well. She
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Are
Oh
you?
my God.
Rosalind,
Hey.
the fact that you got swooned by a very bearded dwarf seems to be just like weighing on your mind, and you know logically, it's nothing important. Your brain is very focused on like, I was like, oh, that was a very smooth swoon, and it's just terribly distracting.
Somebody has a cry.
No. She doesn't go for the really... Yeah, no.
Wait, what
Dwarf-
is Ros-
Dwarf
Hey.
is not her taste, okay?
what is Rosalind's type here?
Huh?
And dwarves,
What?
What is Rosalind's type then?
You'd have to ask her that.
It's going to be yes.
You
So
come
feel
up
free
with
to
a reason.
conspire a
You
situation.
come up with a reason to ask her.
yeah.
That's
I mean, although to be fair,
reason.
you all have the
That's
same taste in
different.
smut. You at least have all the same taste in smut, so.
He's just like puts into check and just like, are you taking it easy on me?
Not consciously? She's looking at the board like, where did she go wrong? And how did... Oh no, I lost track of that castle.
Was it because I fell into the dwarf? Or you, like,
To be honest, the trip was a little embarrassing, I think, for both of us.
oh, I really only noticed my, well,
I'm not usually
maybe
that
I'm
clumsy.
getting better?
You really were.
Both things, I guess.
Well, hopefully this doesn't last. I need to be less out of sorts
mean-
if we're going up to that place and whatever's ahead of us.
Mm.
But it was a very good game, both of them. Thank you. You're improving. I am pleased.
I hope
Even
so
if-
after all this time.
Well, clearly you had a very good teacher. I'm joking. Probably I should start pitting you against some of the others. It's better to exercise these sorts of things against a variety of tactics and
I
opponents.
think I'm getting biased to your tactics.
Perhaps. Be good to shake things up a little bit. Play some 3-person, 4-person games. If anybody has the time to spare. Perhaps not right now, though. I think I've had enough of
Maybe
chess for
when-
the time being.
Maybe when we're flying this thing back, we'll have some time.
Of course. We'll see who's amenable at that point.
He like finishes like stacking up the pieces and like folds the board together, passes it over. Well, we need to do some sort of patrol, I guess.
Have you not taken yours yet?
I was kind of more so ordering other people around to do it first.
I haven't taken mine. Do you mind if I go along with you?
I suppose. Don't want to overwork anyone else, at least.
Alright. Let's go and... I suppose you know the route for patrol. To be honest, I was not paying that much attention at the time you set it out. I was busy with this one, and she scratches Thorn under the chin.
At least he's back. Boops Thorn's nose.
I hope you don't mind if I keep him close while we're on here.
I
That was
prefer
a
it,
shock. Thank you.
especially with you-know-who going about and smelling.
We'll at least have a 10-foot
That is
bubble.
Thorn smelling, though. I don't think he has much cologne on him either.
And as they walk off, Rosalind's venturing the thought, what would Oni cologne smell like? But I'm just leaving that in the air. Which was not an intended pun, but it happened anyway. So,
Alright, so can we cover the group patrols?
I think Conrad said he only wanted the one more.
No, I got the one ready from John.
Oh, okay. So does everybody still have to do those? Or?
Yeah, it's just that's the one that's more.
Okay.
Okay.
But as you guys kind of get ready to go patrol, you kind of notice Xenia sitting near the front of the tent, just kind of holding one diamond in one hand and another in another hand, and staring at it with like a almost blank expression.
And she slowly walks up. Like, shoots a glance over to Rosalind and back to Xenia and like waves the hand in between the eye line.
Oh my god. I did
Good?
it. I did it.
Dude, what?
Xenia holds up the diamond in the left hand. This is the diamond I bought. 300 gold. Xenia holds up the other diamond. I didn't buy this. I made this.
Did you imagineer it, or is this something
Yes.
else? Okay. All right.
Yeah, it'll work.
Really?
It'll work.
Does it work for the magic?
It will.
So as long as any of us has a minute.
Like Asha like holds up like a finger. It's like, hold on. You're telling me, or rather, the Fane are telling us. We can basically print diamonds.
I'm gonna keep them as reference because I used a reference diamond.
Keep in
But other than
mind.
that,
Keep in mind, it only lasts 24 hours, but also, we don't need that long usually if we're to require it.
Yes, that's what I'm.
This is incredibly useful.
And not just that, any sort of magically. Other spells need certain things in them worth a certain amount.
yeah, we can use it for the diamond powder.
Can you use.
If it
Like,
gets spent
slower
right
your-
away.
Maybe if I see some good quality, I feel like if we have a bit of
Maybe-
reference.
Maybe send Orzer a message or two just in case. Last thing we need is making something and then spending who knows how much time enchanting it, and it stops working after 24 hours.
Xenia's gonna do the equivalent of multi-texting ors, or
Fair. What are you multitasking him?
I did it. I made a diamond. It'll work in spells. Can I do that for more stuff? Will it work in enchanting?
And about a minute and a half goes by before you get a response. You must be far away from him. Yunchige Paxi goes, yeah, but I'll remind you that you need to have a deep understanding of what you're creating. Do you have an example in front of you?
Yeah. I used the diamond and I made a replica of it, so if I have a little bit of something, could it be used as a reference?
Theoretically, yes. I somehow doubt they're particularly concerned about the economy right now, but theoretically, yes.
And it's something to bring someone back to life really quickly. I'm not selling it. I could scam people.
You kind of get respond back. There is an economy of life and death too. I believe you caught that pretty well.
That's true. But also in monetary economy, I could scam people. Wait,
Can Ash just. Would a passive perception of 16 see the
No.
look of crime
It's a-
on Zinnia's face?
No,
it's
that's not.
a
That's not a
facial
lot.
journey.
This also takes, again, a minute and a half between messages.
Yeah, but he's standing right there.
Are you not going to your patrol? Because otherwise, standing there for about 10 minutes, just
Oh,
not
God.
saying
Okay,
anything.
fair enough then.
We leave her to her texting about crime, apparently. No idea.
like they start walking off, and
There
Astra
is
just looks
a-
to us and it's like, "Do you smell crime right now?"
Before that, Rosalind had given Xenia a quick hug and a congratulations, well done, and then walked off.
Also, I just
Xenia has
realized
become the face of Be Gay, Do Crimes.
Xenia
I did
is.
something very sad with this.
I could sell diamonds. Oh God. Wait. Or is it multi-sex question? If the diamond wears off in 24 hours, what would happen to the life?
That is a fantastic question.
I really don't want to test that on. Oh no.
There are other materials you can use.
Test it on Esther.
Again.
What is Esther's obsession with death?
We'll get to that point when we get. I'll reach that point when I test it.
If you want one spell that you can test this with very easily, you could do the
Find familiar.
Find Familiar. There's the third level spell that you guys use to hide Aquarius.
The
There's a lot.
non-detection. That's what the
Yep,
diamond does.
you can cast Alarm using the item.
Non-detection lasts less than 24 hours though, so you wouldn't be able to tell.
That's true.
Yeah.
You could wait till
I would-
wait till the end of the life cycle of the diamond, though.
I would
Also,
That's true.
recommend actually seeing if you can imagineer the spent materials, the incense and charcoal and so forth for Find Familiar, and then have either Esther use it to recast it or Rosalind, just to see if, after casting it, renewing the familiar, as it were, if the familiar just poof after 24 hours or not.
Also, you can cast Revivify on like any creature, right?
Yeah, that's that. But I don't
That's-
want to, number one, waste a spell slot. Number two, waste another 5 fame points.
Well, I was gonna say just like on like if we ever have an off day, just like kind of like squish it, like squish a fly, revivify it, and see how long it lasts. Although I guess flies only live a day anyways.
Yeah. Bad example, but...
Again, if you do it at the end of the life cycle of the diamond, it could be a 10-minute test.
Yeah.
Potentially, in theory.
Although, see, now my brain goes, if you revive a fly with one, it probably has more HP than it died with.
Yeah, because it gets 1 HP. It gets 1 HP. You get revived with 1 hit point.
Yeah, I feel like flies have like a fourth of an HP.
Oh my god! I'll make a beefy fly.
revive.
The hero of
Called a
flies.
mosquito.
Also, Conrad,
Yes.
I'm gonna text you what I'm thinking right now, and it's gonna happen because I completely forgot about this imaginary thing.
Sky, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, can you get like closer to your mic?
I'm going to text you. Can you hear me now?
Hey, you're
Message
still
me on Discord. It's easier, but yes.
Yeah, but you kind of have this tin can sound here.
Am I closer now?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Better. I don't know if you're closer.
Lit. Okay. I just thought of something really sad that can happen with that imaginary thing. I will tell you because I don't want to spoil it. But I just thought of something really sad.
All right, message me on Discord. I think before the birds come back, we're gonna take a quick 5 minutes.
Perfect. I need to run real quick.
Alright.
can't believe it took this long for you guys to figure out the spell component thing.
We haven't really played that much with Imagineering, even though it's there. We kind of forget about it.
Yeah. That's why I was surprised. I thought you guys would jump on that first.
To be honest, I haven't played with my contact patron ability at all either, just because she can contact him pretty reliably in the dream thing.
That's there.
I'm slowly
doesn't really
working
have a
on.
need for any of that, so he's just like, he just sort of stays away.
I'm slowly working on using the revived memory a little more.
To be fair, that is something. It is very reasonable to take slowly.
Yeah. I think next long rest we're gonna try it out again.
Next long rest is going to be a long one because I got patron questions.
That's okay with me. I feel like a lot of stuff happens during long rest at this point.
I got Raven Queen questions and then probably a wake up with a panic attack. Who knows?
Well, that's just life.
Not mentioned Fane training as well on long rests too.
Well, the
So
usual training
that's
happens
the
on long
minor thing, but yeah,
rests.
that's
That's not really mentioned. Hi,
Yeah,
Devin.
yeah.
But yeah, it's the role play with various patrons and gods and stuff that really eats up time.
Sorry, I'll be right back again.
Okay. So, whenever we get that long rest, Xenia, if you plan on having potentially a, or rather Ty, if you plan on potentially having Xenia have a jolt wake-up, do you want to go second for dramatic effect?
Yes, that'd
Okay.
be, yeah.
So, that's a plan in place, for Conrad's sake.
Yep.
It is appreciated.
Yep.
Gotta time your panic attacks, you know?
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's just no fun if Xenia wakes up and wakes up the whole crew, but then we have to backtrack because Rosalind was talking to her patron earlier too.
Well, that's fine. I'm never gonna question things for being for dramatic effect. I'm a dramatic bitch.
Yeah, because Connor, you remember what it is, right?
Vaguely.
I will message.
Thank you.
Typity type.
Hello again.
Hello.
Yeet.
No. That's a sound. Yuck. Just remember that you muted. Alright, Kate is not back yet.
Perhaps not.
Ah, right, that message. How did I forget about that one, Ty?
2 weeks. You see why I said panic attack though?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What's
That shit.
happening?
Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah, there's gonna be some big sad boy hours.
So we started the day, teleported here. It's now been about 6 hours. So are we kind of into afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually getting close to evening.
Okay, cool.
Wait, if Xenia doesn't pass out incapacitated, they can just have a panic attack right away.
Why is Xenia having a panic attack?
Don't
Drama?
let it happen.
Don't worry, it's not happening yet.
Xenia is still riding the euphoria of discovering that she could do crime. They could do crime.
Yes.
Using
Yeah,
fame for ill
crime.
ends. Which is probably a good
they
way to make
won't.
And also for saving lives, you know.
Yeah, saving
Yeah.
lives is good.
Saving
This
lives
one's for
and
saving lives.
make
But Xenia themselves wouldn't do that for the sake of the principle.
Mm.
I can
Hey,
I can
someone
defibrillate
was
people and
mad
also
at
commit tax fraud.
That's not
Yeah.
background. That's just straight up racketeering.
well, Conrad, is the 10 feet is it 10? So it's a 10-foot cube. We could technically summon a 10-foot cube of platinum pieces.
Yeah.
But will we?
this. Holy fuck.
I don't think so, because none of us have that
We can have
immorality to it.
Also,
Replicate
regardless of
Ash's armor.
morality or not, we would seriously piss off whatever shopkeeper we tried that on in 24 hours.
Mm.
We can replicate Ash's armor.
For 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But we can still do it.
It takes
There's
a
a reference
deep
piece.
understanding of it, but yeah.
That too.
I don't think anybody else could wear Ashta's armor anyway.
Xenia could, because
Oh.
it counts as medium armor, right?
Mm.
It lets you, the mithril from that mine, that dwarven clan lets you wear the level above, basically. So yeah,
So Xenia can wear it.
okay,
Xenia could.
So could Yama.
that's true. Paladin,
Yema can wear heavy armor.
normally.
We're
Or
gonna
Yima could
redo
just
it,
wear
so-
heavy.
And you guys would have noticed by now. Yama has some really fancy ass armor.
Nice.
Shit, splattered the wall again. I'll be right back.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Alright, for context,
I coughed this
nosebleed
time.
Alright, nosebleed and coughing, apparently. Because
Okay,
this
good.
is recorded. And that's quite the statement without context.
You just
It's like,
splatted
what
over the
did
wall.
you just...
That-
Yeah.
Has connotations, Conrad. Just fucking.
We don't need context.
Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I wasn't thinking much. It happened and I panicked. Thankfully, it was much smaller this time.
I don't blame you.
That's good.
Happens with a lot of things that happen, and that kind of.
I panicked with the beans, don't worry.
I guess, yeah, they both ended it with,
Beans!
Yeah.
Okay.
I
beans,
fucking
beans. They're good for your heart. Owning them is really just an art.
I don't know how to use a can opener.
You do now.
I really don't still.
You don't recall how to use a can opener.
Yeah.
Devin's muted, but it looks like Tanya's back.
Okay, real quick, out of context.
That's alright.
But it reminds me of the whole thing about
Hello,
I can't use
I've
the
actually
camera.
been here. I don't know how I was.
You might have just hit the button by accident.
I don't know how I was like. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
They're all good. It's fine.
Your phone, you might have just tapped it by accident.
Just
Sorry.
interrupt and say, hey, I'm back, if ever.
Along the lines of the whole note. Along the lines of that whole I don't know how to use a camper. Do you remember that one time we were at Moira's house and you guys were making pasta and
Yeah.
I left to go to the corner store? They
Guys.
got scared because the water started boiling and thought something was going to explode. So they
I
turned
did not
off
get
the
scared.
boiling water.
I did not get scared. Moira got scared and turned off the fucking stove.
We can keep it for after the session.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
That's it.
this
Post
is
session,
now
I think everyone's
forever.
back.
This is now forever out there. This is recorded.
Good.
So you know.
But I think everyone's back now.
Just
Okay. So, guys, nearing the end of your patrol as you're heading back to the little outhouse in the woods. You notice like a small kind of. For a second, you're like, "Oh, it's geese," and then you're like, "Wait, no, definitely not geese." As 4 very brightly colored birds. Well, yeah. Give me a second while I find the names and consult the ancient texts. As you see the gold one that you saw before, Alarion.
My new son.
Let's see. I'll grab those names. There is a green one, a cream one, and a red one, I believe.
And a what one?
Uh,
Red?
yes.
Okay. It's like Christmas in here.
More
bit.
children for Esther.
Oh god.
Sorry, just oh, is it not listed? Okay. I'm doing this by memory. My apologies if I get it wrong for anyone who doesn't know the series. That's for the if we have a listener who by chance has read it. I'm gonna write it down in the chat, I can remember. So the gold one, as a reminder, is Alarion. The red one, as they fly down, you get the basically the. Would you like to commingle? As I'm assuming, Caius, you say yes.
Yeah.
And this is purely Kais who's finding them, right?
For the introduction, yes. The red one, a bit larger than the rest, has like a weird gruff tone to their fane. I introduce himself as Azkiar, or Azkiar. I apologize for this one's pronunciation. It's going to create confusion later. I'm sorry. The cream one introduces itself as Oriel,
Yep.
And the last one. Shit, hold on. What's it called again?
You could just change that AU to an O, and it would have been easier.
I'm gonna be real with you. All the names start with an A.
It's
You
themed.
just change all the A's to O's and be good.
No.
No.
Obviously not right now. I meant before you created them.
That's fair. I'm so sorry. I'm losing. And there's a green one as well. Who we're just gonna call it green for now until I find the name.
Okay.
What series are these names from?
The Last Dragon Chronicles. We'll worry about that another time.
Oh, these are just direct rip characters?
The names are.
Okay.
It's the name of the birds, honestly. Because they're really good names. So they kind of fly down, land in front of you. The cream one has this bit of a almost more pleasant expression. Like the tufts above her eyes look almost like eyebrows. It looks like open and very friendly. The green one looks sleepy and bored, and the gold one, as before, is just very alert and a little bit skittish. They introduce themselves. The green one we're going to call, let's call him Altarion. Nope, that's not the correct spelling.
So like a Larion, but not quite.
Yeah. And they kind of sit down in front of you, and the cream one kind of walks up to Caius, and you get the equivalent of Caius. Basically, it says, "Take me to your leader."
Take to my leader.
Yes.
Okay, and I look over at Ashta and
Is he not out on patrol right now?
He's pretty close to the outhouse. It was on the return.
Yeah, but he's not right beside us.
Yeah, I mean, he can wave you over.
Caius goes looking for Ashta.
Yep, he's laying down. He's, I'm assuming, either in the pavilion or just outside of it.
Yeah.
What do you want? What? Are those who we're waiting for?
There's someone who wants to talk to you.
Are they who we're waiting for?
I believe.
Are they birds with fang?
Yes.
Okay. Tell them to fly over here then.
Okay. And he'll relay that to the bird.
They kind of waddle into the tent, looking around at all the people. You see their eyes once they step in. Again, do that kind of twisting motion you saw before, as they seem to take like a snapshot of each face, almost. And they look at you, Ashta. The red one kind of like fluffs its feathers and displays its chest. The cream one nods its head, and the green one just kind of pecks at the ground and looks around.
I'm assuming Kais leans over and tells me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He just looks over and just out loud, I do assume you're to be our escorts.
You see this four of them kind of bob their head, and the cream one will step forward. It looks up to you, goes
The
down
one, the
its
same
mouth.
one we saw before, right?
Gold is the one that you guys are first introduced to. This is the green one.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's the same gold one.
Yes.
Would Esther have seen them when they walked in?
Oh yeah, they're just basically at the entrance of the tent. Everyone can see them.
Oh, Esther would have gone up to Illyria and to
Right. And he kind of nods his head towards you and hello. The cream one looks to you, Ashta, and kind of looks back and forth and turns to Thorn.
Thorn
Assuming-
relay.
turns
Assuming
to
Thorn connects them. He kind of goes, again, I am Ariel. And we are advisors to those in charge. We can bring you, but be warned, if you are deemed a threat, you will be burned.
You will be what?
Burned.
Burned.
Yes.
He just looks over and it's like, we hold you to the same standards.
I kind of nod, and they go, maybe not burning for us, but feel free to consume us.
And kind of like Wizard's face and just neutralize will do.
Neutralize it will be. They kind of
And
nod their head.
Caius leaned over to Ash. Did they just say consume?
What?
Say that again, John.
Did they consume? Did I hear that correct?
You're lagging.
You didn't hear anything because this is going through Thorn.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay.
You hear one of the birds actually like turn their head, the red one, and mildly surprised, it whistles, just like a person. Yeah, pretty much. And a purple firebird comes in and settles on Caius' shoulder.
Of course.
The red one flies over to Ariel.
Hang
Rosalind, I
on,
mean.
wait, okay. Okay.
Okay, fucker.
Sorry, I confused myself there.
Listen, if we're color coding, you can't do that.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
That is
Also,
correct.
also, you cannot throw that name out there and then you yourself be the one messing it up.
Well, I just did, unfortunately, because I am a foolish, and you know this, good sir.
Yes, feel the shame.
Always. The green one will...
Dumb bitch.
The green one will kind of flutter over to Esther, and rather than sitting and jumping on your shoulder, Esther, that one just kind of settles into your arms. And the cream one will kind of look at Ashton, cock its head, point to your shoulder. Yeah?
Shrugs, but says, get as close as you want, but I'm sure you
Wait,
can
who
tell
goes
what I
with
got.
Xenia?
Hold on. So yeah, it flutters onto your shoulder, Ashta, and kind of settles with one foot in either shoulder. Kind of on the armor, so you can't really feel the weight. Esther, one more flies in, bright orange, settles on your shoulders, and finally a blue one flies in and lands on Yema's shoulder.
Hang on, who's got the orange? Because I've got green to Esther, and then you said orange to Esther.
Oh, sorry, I meant green to Xenia. My mistake.
Okay.
And like, what's on my shoulder again?
A bright blue bird.
I'm
Right.
surprised Illyrian didn't go on
About
him.
the size of like a vulture, right?
Maybe a touch larger, but not by much.
A large vulture, then.
Sure.
What about
Ezra,
Illyrian?
he just stays on the ground. And as they kind of each point their noses towards which direction you should walk, they look back at the squads and look at each of you, and almost in unison, through Thorn, obviously, for Asher, they say, your friends can join.
Thank you. We'll need a moment to break camp. Can it wait a few minutes?
We will rest here. And they kind of settle comfortably under your shoulders. The red one looks a bit unhappy. If a bird can look unhappy.
Well,
That's
Rosalind doesn't have a way to soothe that, so...
Asher kind of like looks up to the one on his, like both his shoulders, and it's like, there is someone else who kind of shows up there sometimes too. Just
In our roost, you mean?
no, on the shoulders here. And he just like taps the crossbow.
And you notice, strangely enough, Essence, normally like she flows up your shoulder basically and kind of like wraps her arms around your shoulders like usual. But then she notices the bird and just continues upwards and wraps her arms around the bird's shoulders.
This is a hilarious image. All of a sudden, it's just this stack.
And then she looks down at you, Ashton, and goes, been a while since I was tall again.
Were you previously?
7'8" about, yes.
That's kind of rich stuff.
He like breathes in through the nose, out through the mouth.
yeah, bitch, you
Well-
short.
Oh, we have camp to break.
Yep. And your entire squad, Ash, and most of the squads are looking weirdly at this like kid in a trench coat style stack of dangerous creatures. And they just,
I don't trust like that.
and they kind of just like, all right, and they start breaking down camp. The one who set up the pavilion earlier with the sorcery, you see her basically put the fingernail back on, and the pavilion collapses.
I hate every moment of what you just said.
Yep, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay.
I know.
Fuck.
Hang on, she didn't take anything off. She just pricked her finger for blood. I distinctly
Yeah,
remember that.
Yeah, no, I'm
No.
aware. This is the one she ripped off a while ago.
No, 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 no.
She ripped it
Why?
off when she placed it as a
She ripped
pin
it
in
off
Esther's
and jammed
grenade.
it into my bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that, yeah, it's that.
Okay, then the bomb goes off?
No, she didn't take it out of the bomb. You don't know where she got this fingernail.
The hell? Okay, fine. Alright, alright.
Good.
Okay.
Alright, double down. Fine.
I am not pursuing this any further.
That's fair. I do have notes for it if you do, but that's fair.
Nope.
I'm sure you do.
Excuse me, where are you getting the fingernails from?
Letting
She kind of looks at you and goes, "What do you mean, my pocket?"
Why do you have a pocket full of fingernails?
Because they're useful.
Understandable. Alright.
And she kind of like opens up her pocket. She pulls out like a handful of old nails.
Awesome! Exactly what I want!
Why don't you
Oh,
use
look,
those
camp's
nails?
broken down. Let's go.
What?
Yeah. There's a
Hold
question
on.
there, but
Hold the
Asher like grabs Caius by the
Hold the
face,
fantasy
and he goes,
equivalent to
"You
a
are not
phone.
giving the GM any
What?
more power here than possible," and drags him off.
Come on, don't you like my fun little anecdotes? Okay, that's fair.
Also, Esther would want to ask, the dragon sitting in her hair, what's your name?
It's not a dragon, it's a bird, but yes.
The orange one?
The bird. Apologies, yes.
It kind of like makes a whistling sound. And then its fane goes, "Sorry, this one likes to gesticulate itself. We translate for it. This one is known as Avery."
My new son!
Oh no.
Wow,
Oh,
the
God.
name's as literal
What?
as the one whose shoulders it's on.
Yeah.
I love it!
Can
It's
Kai say
so
quick his bird's name there?
Sure. Purple one looks down to you guys, and it kind of gives you a strange look and kind of taps Morse code on your head.
Boom, boom, boom.
And it informs you that its name is Alfrey.
Alfred?
I was gonna say Alfred before anyone said anything, so
I love it.
And Yemma, if you're curious, the blue one names itself as Austin Teal.
Esther loves her whistling son. I'm
What
gonna
did he
cry.
name?
That's
What?
so-
Wait, Austin Teal?
Austin
Okay.
Teal.
Austin Teal. Alright.
Wow. Okay, we break camp. We go up to the castle, please.
Yep, and we're walking. Ash just real quick looks up to the cream bird again. Freaking Oriel.
It's mine.
Uh,
Yeah.
Cream bird. I'm referring to it as nothing but. He's going, and he's just like, "You're aware of the enemy we have here, yes?
The one who cannot be seen?
Tall giant. Yes.
Is he your enemy or the enemy of those who reside in you?
Say that again.
Is he your enemy or the enemy of those which reside in you?
By those that reside in me, do you mean the Fane?
The Ix, the Fane, whichever.
Let's go with both.
Interesting.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't personal,
We appreciate you not lying.
but he needs to go anyways.
He has... No, he's been known to be a threat. If you wish to neutralize, go ahead.
If If you or any of your friends get even a hint of a whiff of them, you let us know.
The ones who have seem to have vanished. Except for Hilarion, of course.
You touch my bird children, I will kill you.
We're gonna kill them anyways. That threat holds no weight.
Speaking of, Esther, what about your other bird child?
Ember's been in my pocket, my man. Like my
Okay.
front pocket.
Just making sure. Just wondering where he's riding, because he's usually on your shoulder.
Ember will keep up, though, with this, like, you know, new intruder on his roof. How dare.
And Avery will put his beak down, and Ember will kind of... They'll sniff each other for a second. And then Avery, like, basically picks up Ember and settles it on top of your head.
I love my kids.
So you have a little fluff ball of an owl, and a very large eagle vulture thing that's fluorescent orange.
My neck must be so sore right now.
Thankfully the birds are relatively light,
Thank God.
but you guys travel, and you can tell the sun's gonna set before you guys reach the castle, probably. As you're kind of making this trek, does anyone basically argue against traveling into the darkness, or no?
Does anybody have a problem? Keep going.
I mean,
Not
mostly have
overly.
dwarves on. It's gonna be an easy advantage, I assume.
Sorry, what do you...
enemies-
Sorry, could you repeat that, Devin?
I paused.
Okay.
I'm assuming our enemies or enemy have a good handle in the dark. We have dwarves. We have us. Rosalind used to be the only. Well, I guess Caius, actually.
Caius.
Not anymore. It would only be Caius, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So guys, stay in the middle.
Yeah, no problem.
How close would we get to the castle? Is it like an hour after sundown, probably, by the pace we're going, or is it
If we
longer?
estimate.
Yeah.
Um,
Is this the sort of thing where we're pushing exhaustion if we keep going?
no. It's just, are you guys okay with traveling at night, basically?
Okay.
It'd probably take a couple hours past sunset.
Alright.
As you guys begin to tire, or get closer to the end, the Firebirds request that the leaders, basically you all, go ahead and that if you are willing, they will expedite your travel.
They're
that
asking
you
if we
mean-
split ourselves from the squads.
Basically, they want, effectively, for the ones who are willing to speak for the rest of the squads, to have a chance to converse up ahead. It's not far, not by far, maybe a sixth of a mile.
I don't like the idea of splitting up in this territory.
Esther's for it.
Rosalind's against.
What's the purpose of it?
To speak with the door guard.
To speak with the... Who? Conrad? Okay, is anybody audible? Can anybody hear me?
The sorry,
The door guard to disallow it.
is
Uh-oh.
you're a little bit. No, I'm sorry.
I am disconnecting and reconnecting. I hit disconnect, but my voice connected is still on. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, boy. Well. Oh, no! My connection has been interrupted. Since I'm the one recording, I'm the only one who can be heard by this. It is currently trying to reconnect and everything. So yeah, Discord dumped me. I'm getting back in there. Maybe. I hope. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a day for it. What a time. Welp. Do 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 do. My Discord is still spinning, still whirling. I am desperately hoping for the best. Oh, this figures. Well, my internet icon is still on. I should still have it. Unfortunately, Discord seems to be saying a different thing as it's still spinning and connecting, apparently. So, yeah. Something went wrong. Something went very wrong. Well, the connection's been interrupted again on roll 20. That's visible. Hell. What a terrible thing to happen. Please, 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 please. Please come back. Please come back. Oh my god. Please come back. Please. Yes, ready. It's back. Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Just gotta
My internet connection went away.
There's
Oh
John.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, my internet was
All good
lagging
now?
as well.
Okay.
Just
everything
needed a second.
good?
Yeah, it's fine. Should be.
Okay, we're actually sounding okay, which is good.
Alright.
I don't expect it to last, but hey, I'm
Real quick, I'm just putting in the things to remember, the names of the Firebirds, properly spelled and everything.
Okay.
My entire room just
You can
fell
just do a
apart.
handout of that.
I
the
could.
things to remember is more for us doing stuff rather than you putting stuff.
That's fair. Alright, I'll make a
Oh
note
god,
here.
everything's broken.
So, the last thing that I heard and was therefore on the recording was us discussing what the purpose of splitting up from the squads was. Ashta
Yeah.
asked that. Conrad started to answer. It broke up, lagged, and then I was gone.
Alright, basically it was to speak to the door guards, effectively.
And Ashley looks up and goes, "You lot have wings. Why can you not just go ahead and one or two of you and let them know?"
It's not a matter of letting them know. They know you're here. They want to assess you.
Can they not come to us?
They're at the door, but if you insist, sure, we will try.
We're in hostile territory. We can't exactly go and gallivanting for formality.
You are in friendly territory as long as you are friends.
Friends to you, but remember, we're trying to find somebody who is invisible and
Quite frankly, much more devious than you could imagine.
he might very well just be waiting for us to separate from our larger numbers.
He could be waiting inside your castle.
Maybe below, but we will speak to them, see what they are happy to do. And, just to make it easy, the cream one will flutter off of Ash's shoulders and fly ahead. The red one will join. About 5 minutes go by. You see the birds start to kind of like make general bird noises towards each other. The one on Esther's head almost exclusively seems to whistle like a person. Not particularly well either. But after about 5-10 minutes, the birds return with similar birds. These ones are both bright red, and they kind of stand in front of you, feathers puffed, wings out.
More
Not-
bird.
Kind of similar to Azkiar, the red one. A little bit larger. These ones are a bit, again, even less happy looking than him. They look up and down. They look up to the cream one, which would then translate so that they wish to smell you each.
Okay.
All right. Rosalind will extend a hand, I guess.
And they each take their turn sniffing each of you as long as they get permission. And as they do, they kind of, when they get attached, they almost expectedly turn to each other and seem to have some kind of conversation. Eventually, the cream one says to you, Ashta, that they don't want to allow you, but we are asking them to make an exception. Understand that you will be watched, yes?
As I said before, the feeling's mutual.
Just mentioning what I must. They give you as well, Yem, a very strange kind of more in-depth smelling. They kind of smell you all over rather than just your hand or your neck.
But less overtly distrusting.
Yeah, it's not like they kind of slightly recoil like they did with Ashta. It's more so they're just very interested about you. And you are.
You lagging for anybody
You're
else?
lagging out.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Last time it was just me and I was so scared.
Yeah, lagging again.
Brown fox over the.
You're rough.
Pretty rough, bro.
Barely legible, but still not ideal.
Is this any better?
Yes.
A little bit.
far.
Okay. So, eventually you each get permission to enter the castle. The entrance is easily 80, 90 feet tall. Two doors. Seemingly the hinges on one are broken, but it's cracked open enough that you can walk through the gap pretty easily. It's easily 5 foot. Step through. The walls must tower 300 to 500 feet in the air. They are huge, but very clearly dilapidated. In a tower a bit off to the left, you can see evidence of some old fire that partially melted top of the building. To the right, it's a bit more broken down stone than the rest. One of the walls seems to be partially cracked in. And the doors themselves, as you approach, are in okay condition. They're not rotting on their hinges, but if you put your hand on it, you can't be confident you won't get a dozen splinters. But the birds allow you inside. And then I'm just going to show you guys the whole map. Unfortunately, I'll have to... it's still going to be slightly off kilter, but hopefully that's okay. It is Lorch.
Where would we be? Bottom right?
Give me a second. Yeah, bottom right. That's way too small. I will make an X where you guys are and just move it around, kind of like on the world map.
Okay.
Let's make it. Yeah, same pink magenta color. And I haven't scaled it to tell you the actual size. Just know that it's very big.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And that pink square is where you guys are.
Noted.
As you enter, you can see desk. Again, as you expect, made for giants. With probably 20 birds of rainbow colors. You notice that there are no pure white, nor are there any black. But everything in between that you can imagine, there's something close to that shade. And they all seem to be staring at this one uh, painting, tapestry, something of the sort. Just observing it. One of them maybe clicking to the other every once in a while. But they, for the most part, ignore you as you step inside.
Esther's gonna ask Avery, who was here before we arrived? Like, who used to live?
Mm, well, that was a long time ago. You understand, but we understand through the generations. Um, Giants. They were large to your structure. Um, they spoke not what you speak, but the same way you speak. And near the end, we've been told there was a small giant, but still larger than you, that we believe lives below, or rests below.
Jack.
Perhaps. No name that we know.
Was he armored and armed?
Um, so the stories tell. This was a long time ago.
You've
Fane
never
show us images, but they're not memories. They're memory images.
and you've never explored them?
No. Below belongs to the reptiles. We
The black one.
have an understanding that the stairs are off limits. The castle is sacred to both of us.
The pure black ones.
Yes, and others.
Alright. Abandoned castle, my ass. But okay.
Well.
So,
Where do we start looking? We've got one problem first.
Well, we have to go down below. That's where he said to meet.
Is it?
Wasn't it where the tomb that Jack lies?
I suppose. If we take that literally.
are we to assume difficulty? Should we tread into the territory of the ones with the scales?
Yes, it would be dangerous, and we've not come with.
What are
But
their
you are
numbers?
equal to us, more than you. But rarely do they remain below all at once. They hunt. They don't live off small creatures like we do. They hunt larger game.
Do they hunt at day or do they hunt at night?
They hunt whenever they can leave.
In terms of their numbers, do you mean equal to you relative to the whole land, or simply the ones that could be in this building at any given time?
From what we know, which on the topic of them is not a lot, total we are roughly equal, but they don't remain inside, as I mentioned. So we can only guess.
Do they have a weakness? I saw some of you fighting them outside.
We have abilities to make fighting easier. It makes it difficult for them to combat us, but it's risky. It's magic.
What kind of magic?
Magic that slows, magic that hastens, and we can escape quickly.
Ashjagger knows those spells, yeah.
Oh yeah, easily. haste and slow,
A
or
slow
at
and
least
expeditious
something similar.
retreat.
No, not expeditious retreat. This dungeon damage through Thorn. An Arcana check. It's been seen before, but it's not one you know. I don't think.
What about fire?
15.
It's the spell dimension door.
All right.
As for fire, they kind of you see each of them as you mention fire, they just ruffle their feathers, and they burp out a little bit of flame. The red one does, Asgiar, and the flame is pure white.
Are they susceptible to it? Does it hurt them? What do they breathe? How do they?
Fire harms as it harms anyone, but our fire is kinder than most. It's friends.
Is it magical?
Of a sort. Here. And do you trust us?
Of course.
Are you injured at all?
No, not me.
Well, that's okay. You are resistant to fire, so we would like to show you, just in case something is wrong.
Of course.
And just slowly, just like not on the crossbow, but just kind of to the side.
And the orange one, Avery, tells you to stick out your hand, Esther, and it
Yes.
breathes a gout of flame onto your hand. And doesn't burn. Feels just pleasantly warm.
Oh, that's nice.
And they kind of like they breathe little bits of fire at each other. They almost like make it a little pain as they ruffle their feathers. It's mildly uncomfortable considering it's sitting on your shoulder. But yeah, it doesn't hurt at all.
I see. Well, I would do the same, but I fear mine would hurt you.
No flame can hurt us. We
Is
are
there,
creatures of flame.
is there a conjure up or produce flame just in your hand?
As you do, you see the firebird lean down and just suck the flame into its mouth. And it just absorbs it.
Esther's gonna look to the rest of the group. I like them.
You see
Watch
it
your hair.
burp. You see it burp out of smoke ring.
Of course you do.
I like these birds very much.
That aside, we do need to figure out what we're doing and where we're going.
She's gonna turn to Illyrian. When was the last place that you smelled him? Have you smelled him?
The broken wall, and you would basically direct you to. Let me get onto the right map. He basically points to the inner wall, right here. That's the one that's broken down that I mentioned.
Okay.
Right where?
He's pointing.
No, this one.
Zoom out way more.
And how would we get to the stairs?
Through this hallway, and down.
Of course.
Those would be-
If you so desire, would you like to meet our leader, or do you have do you wish to complete your mission quick?
I think we have enough time to meet your leader. What do you guys think?
Asher kind of like clears his throat, just like, How long do you think it would take?
Depending how well you converse, and if you choose to stay longer. 10 minutes? Or whatever time you have to spare. She will not keep you unless you wish to be kept.
A brief greeting, then.
Alright. Go this way. And they direct you to the central courtyard.
Okay, where the little sun symbol is.
And sitting on top of what was probably once a throne or a chair of some kind. Now it's this semi-rounded outcrop of rock. Old gems lie at its feet. Uh, there are firebirds lining every roof, looking through the inside of that courtyard. It is outdoor, and behind it there's growing a rather large tree. Um, just behind the days. I don't know how to say that word properly. Um, you see a very large, maybe 20 feet tall. Its wings are kept in, so you can't quite tell the wingspan, but a blue, shimmering firebird. Did the image show to you guys?
Yep.
Alright, good.
I love her.
And she observes you closely and opens her mouth and speaks in common. And she greets you as you enter our roost. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Rosalind. These
Hi,
are
Master.
Caius Ambrose.
Seeing you.
Ashta.
The bird looks at you, Caius. It says, "What is your name?"
Caius Ambrose.
No, that's what you're called. What is your name?
That is a secret I'll take to my grave. Thank you.
Oh, well, fuck.
Well, Purple One. I will not force you to speak your secrets, but we do appreciate honesty.
Personally, there's a lot of meaning to my true name. Won't part with letting anyone else know.
We are aware. But I will speak mine when I'm confident in yours. For now, you may call me Monarch.
That's all we require for now.
Sorry, say again?
That's all we require for now. So that'll be no problem.
That'll be all. Why have you, come here?
To, I suppose, fight an old enemy of ours.
And this enemy would be?
a being that calls himself Bo. Also not a true name, but he's refused to tell us what it
Valerian
be.
has information.
The Oni.
You wish to hear from
You see the Monarch turn their eyes towards Valerian. For a second, they kind of just look at each other. Ah, the unseen and the sharp shadow. Conspiring.
Sorry, say that again?
He is below. Conspiring.
Conspiring with the dragons, the reptiles?
Assumedly. We leave them to their business, distasteful as it might be.
Well,
Distasteful, you have no care for them in the long
We have-
the broadest term.
We have care, but we also have a truce.
If they were to suddenly find themselves with reason to leave the area opposed,
Not at all. If you could convince them, we could have our home back.
if we convince them, would you be willing to share your home?
I just kind of like gives a glance over.
Can I give you a weird look? You wish to reside with us?
Potentially.
We at least planned to before we knew the place was inhabited.
Ah. The castle is sacred to you as well, then.
It would be a great honor.
Although I wouldn't go as far as sacred. Useful.
In what way? It is useful to us because it is home. But you cannot fly, you cannot leave.
The first might be true, but the second is not.
Huh.
And to be, and just the wings appear for half a second. The first is only partially true.
Ah,
Some of us can fly.
do you as well know the enchantments of space?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you as well know the enchantments of space?
Does he know what she means by that?
Roll me a
Arcana.
just a wisdom check.
Wisdom. Cool. 22.
Um, you know enough to know that she's not referring to just magic. Enchantments of blank is a term, it's an old term, very old, but basically refers to mastery over whatever.
And he'll just kind of. I wouldn't go so far as that, if you mean what I believe you to mean. But I aim for such a height.
I do sense a strange resonance, Winged One. You, this plane may be your home, but it desires to travel. Would that be correct?
Sorry. Say that again.
This plane may be your home, but it desires to travel.
But
it desires travel?
Yes.
The plane desires travel?
No, his body.
Okay, that subject was not put in there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I must have cut out. Sorry.
I desire. Okay. Got like think. I desire proper mediated travel of one's home to another. I take issue with those who come in uninvited and take what.
Well, I believe we'll get along well then.
Like, raises an eyebrow, doesn't say anything.
So, would you be willing for us to remain here? Potentially.
If you are peaceful, if you are friendly with us,
Though that can be discussed later as well. We have priorities.
as you wish, I will remain here.
And he just kind of stops for a sec. Is your kind celestial in nature?
No. We are, enlightened, I suppose, but not celestial.
I was just gonna say hello in primordial.
And just looks at you strangely.
I'll take that as your not primordial.
No, we are. Although I don't like the term, we are beasts.
Do you speak any of the elemental languages?
If we search fame, maybe.
And
Interesting.
how is it that you know common when and can speak it when the rest of your kind cannot, or at least hasn't demonstrated so?
Well, when each of our firebirds are born, I give them a piece of my cluster. Myself having the ability to collect any fane that once resided in the firebirds. Those that have traveled afar and not returned have had their fane returned to me, and I have learned much.
Specifically, your fang can do that.
My cluster, yes. I don't know of other clusters quite as large as mine, but I'm sure they exist.
How old are you?
That is a difficult question. My body or my fame?
Let's go body.
Roughly a millennia.
And none here surpass your
No, most don't live past 70.
what
Why
has
is it
left
you?
you in such a position.
Luck, my cluster. Deeper knowledge of the enchantments of time.
Hastens. Makes sense. Oh, and I guess to add on to the kindred, and he just kind of like, just for like half a second, like just flexes the haste spell.
And it kind of smiles. And you see like the beak almost like slightly change shape as it sort of smiles, and then it kind of shakes its head. That is quite the trick. May I show you one of mine?
On yourself or on me?
On everything, but I will keep yourself and myself exempt.
And he goes, alright, well. He just looks, there's anything on your face.
She goes, no. And you notice as she says that the wind has stopped.
He
So
just,
have
he
the, so
just
have
like
the leaves.
looks over, waves a hand in front of Caius.
You turn, it's not Caius. It is a kind of like a standing icicle.
And he stops. Looks at the hand.
It is exactly what you think it is.
Looks around.
What?
Huh.
No, exactly what you think it is. What's the hand, brother?
He kind of like looks over. This isn't the first time I've seen this.
No, it is not. I
Something's
must
wrong?
admit. Something was. Something is. Something always will be.
What does the bird look like?
Just the bird. No different. Maybe a
What's
bit
his hand
shinier.
look like?
Its hand just kind of looks like static.
Thank you.
He just like looks over and just like, why us then?
I mean, if I'm honest, it wasn't just you. You're just the first to come here.
How many more?
Throughout all of history, I couldn't tell you. I'm not the only one who's done this. I will not be the last.
And what is this exactly? Is there a name?
None that I could easily share with you. As I mentioned, names have power.
What does the... Were you there, aware, when we first experienced this?
I was aware there was a discrepancy. And, as I always do, as my firebirds always do, we enter there to correct it.
Discrepancy of what nature?
We are guardians of much. Of that which should never be changed. For longer than any time. Well, not that long really, but since the world as we know it was created.
Which time?
This existence of all things. Since those simply people.
Sorry, you lagged a bit there.
Oh, test.
Maybe reconnect.
Yep. Test.
Yep.
Since those you know as gods were simply beings. Before that, but I can't go from before that.
something before that? Since I heard, since what you know is gods were just beings.
And possibly before that, but I don't know before that.
Do your Fane not know that?
Not in the degree that I'm comfortable with.
Not in the what that you're comfortable with?
The degree. There has been um, meddlers who wish for destruction. And it has always been our job to correct what we can. As Fane, as firebirds, as giants, as dragons, as anything in between. We're simply the next in line. When I told you something was wrong, that was the beginning of a new threat.
Zodiac War?
One of them. The Zodiac War is the largest function of them, yes.
You're saying there's something larger than that at play?
There could be.
Say that
We
again.
hope to find. There could be. We hope that you will find out.
And rip its head off?
Do whatever must be done.
Okay, like looks back around. No one else is like moved during this, right?
Nope. You notice that Yemma, actually,
I was about to ask.
almost made of clay, it looks like. This towering figure, easily 13 feet tall. White eyes, golden skin, and powerful looking.
Does India look any different?
It was lightning, if I'm correct, right?
There was a storm of like lightning and wind
Right.
and leaves being
Whirling
kicked up.
leaves. Yeah.
Instead of being like a maelstrom, just chaos. They look like literally like a dark and stormy night.
And does Ashley look any different at himself?
The static is there. Past that, you can't quite see anything different.
Yeah, but similar thing of like that kind of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, very similar.
Okay.
If there is a
Like
difference,
static.
you don't notice it.
Okay.
Don't worry. After I speak to you, I will do the same for each of your friends. They will be caught up. But you asked first.
Well, I get the feeling we might be working a bit more together than simply roommates.
Well, I do hope so. I don't share my bed.
Neither do I.
And Rosalind.
Mhm.
Suddenly time has paused and Ash is standing a bit different than he was before.
Okay.
Except he's made of static. And
Okay.
the monarch looks at you.
You warned
Something's
us.
still wrong. Yes.
Was it not Bo that was wrong that first time?
He is an agent of change. One that we hope to stop someday.
That's what
Or-
we're hoping to do this day, if we can.
Well, then I'm glad you've come.
Is that show like still like cognizant, or is this
Nope.
just
You are frozen in time.
Is there any more information that you wish to give us? Something is
There
wrong.
is. And she basically translates what Ashton was told.
Okay.
I assume it just
Rosalind
goes
looks
through with
down at
everyone
herself,
else?
still rosy thorny.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Is there anything you wish to ask?
Um, Why these forms? It's an inane question, perhaps, but the person we asked before theorized that it has to do with an appearance of magic.
Or correct of a sort. My true form is as you see it. It has taken me a long time to become this way. The fire that I breathe is known as the fire of creation. And when I use its power, you are as you are intended to be created. But your mind isn't particularly good at processing that, so it creates for you a new form that is projected to the rest of the world.
She looks around. Xenia's has changed somewhat. These forms aren't immutable.
No. Just as your destiny is, you make it. Just as you can make yourself whatever you wish.
Is that any different from other perspective?
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay. Is there any particular meaning to these forms, or is it, again, what we make of them?
You would have to ask that of yourself.
I didn't expect
Yeah.
much of a different answer.
That is the nature of, oh, how did it get put to me once? Philosophical mumbo-jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. More concrete.
Well, that is the nature of philosophical mumbo-jumbo, isn't it?
Touch.
Well, You've caught me off guard. I don't have any thoughts or questions I need answered, I think. Perhaps
You will
if
have.
we succeed in return, then there may be more then?
And when you return, I will be here.
I hope we do so
And-
then.
And finally, Xenia.
What?
Same thing.
It's different.
You have changed. You are both the same and not. Your mind has matured as anyone else's does, but you exist in a form you did not before.
So I assume these are connected to not entirely just the soul.
It is how you see yourself. Just such. It's how your body understands itself. While you have always been a being of nature, comfortable with a level of chaos, and powerful as a storm, or changing. Instead, now you are connected closely with night. And change. You must will it.
So it just can just keep changing. That's
Not the way you used to. But in some level, you have power over how you will change in the future.
that's pretty beautiful.
I agree. The fires of creation. Blessed sight to see.
Makes me feel more like one of those primal elves. This is nice.
Xenia, there is one thing I must tell you.
Mm.
If you remain as you are, you will never be as a primal elf was.
I know.
Is he lagging out for anyone else?
Just a
Not
little.
really.
Not really.
Not badly, not illegibly.
If you remain as you are, I'm sure your future will have a different uniqueness.
Either futures have different decisions and different abilities.
Most likely. More futures than there are stars in the sky.
You're correct. Thank you for showing me this again.
You will always be welcome. You just have to ask.
It's appreciated.
And time zooms for everyone.
Was it just the three who got the update?
The three who've seen it
Yeah.
before.
Asha gives a glance over to the two who have seen it before.
Yeah, it's probably written all over Rosalind's face.
Right, okay, us three.
I could show the others, but
I think they're good for now.
Wait,
Well.
what did we miss?
I will give you a glimpse. And suddenly time freezes for everyone, but you can still see each other. Ashta is a silhouette of static, kind of flickering back and forth. Xenia is a being.
Sorry, he looked over at Esther and just gives like a light wave.
You still can't move. You can just see.
Oh, okay.
Xenia you see as an entire storm trapped in a person. But when lightning flashes, it's the only time there's any light within. Rosalind is a creature made entirely of thorns, vines, and roses. Caius is a monolith of ice and crystal. Esther is a sandstorm, trapped in a body. And Yema is a standing structure of golden clay, shining eyes.
But Esther was something different.
Yeah, you told me a sphinx when I was drawing the things, but it could have changed since then.
I do like
It's-
Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
It is very, it's very similar.
Yeah.
And also the DM might have mixed it up a little bit. But it's appropriately deserty. And the bird is the bird.
What are you?
And time resumes.
Whoa.
What just happened? What are you?
Old.
Someone we've run into before, at least the three of us.
Then what has she done before?
Showed us that and gave us a warning. Something's
Right
not
before
right.
Bo dragged a glaive across our backs. Or at least one of ours.
Before Bo showed up, you gave them a warning. What was the warning?
Something's not right. Something's wrong. Something like that.
It's not very specific.
No.
I think it's more correlation. I had to guess it was about the time that the Zodiacs and all related threats kind of reached a head. Is that
What?
accurate?
It was the shot that started the war.
What plane are you connected to?
This one.
The material or the elemental?
The material.
Not everything's elemental, you know, Esther.
It's not what I'm asking.
You did not start the war. You have no need to worry.
That's
But-
not what I'm asking either.
Then what are you asking, Esther?
Can you do the... She's gonna try to commingle for a second.
As you basically send out the question that would you like to commingle, it's like you just stepped directly in front of Niagara Falls. And the size of whatever you're approaching is almost too immense to stand your ground. And you see the the monarch say, I would not recommend commingling for your sake.
She basically wants to ask a question, but she doesn't want anyone to hear her.
You can still send a message without commingling.
Well, she'll send the
No,
message.
you do have to commingle to send a message.
That's what I mean.
I thought that commingling was specifically seeing through the senses.
You have to have commingled before for it
Okay.
to work.
Is there any way to signal for her to do the posy thing?
I mean, she's also just telepathic.
Well, she'll think then, I suppose. Is there any way you're connected to the astral plane? Or you know of the astral plane?
I know what my Fane know, but I don't know what you need to know.
Would you be willing to share eventually what your Fane know of the astral plane? I need to know everything.
When your Fane grow, you will know. You have to explore. You have to see more.
Pardon?
You have to explore. You have to see more. You have to experience more before your Fane can appropriately grow.
How?
Life. Do. Create. Love. Live.
But there has to be...
Stimulate the mind. The rest will follow.
But you do know of the astral plane.
Of course.
There are some questions I will have to ask you once all of this is over.
I will be here.
And that's all for her. She just saw being of all-knowing knowledge.
And the monarch looks down at you, Yema. You've been quiet.
Been listening.
What is your name?
Yema.
You are odd. Even by my standards.
I
What is it that you, come here for? You were not on this plane last I met these folk.
I'm here. I'm sent here. And I'm here for stability.
Oh, sent. You did not come here yourself.
No.
Ah. Forgive me, I thought I had met someone similar to myself. I apologize.
Well,
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
What would you consider similar to yourself then?
What do you mean by that?
Well, inherently a master of... Oh, let me show you. And she presses her beak onto your forehead, Yema. And go ahead and click your aura of stability. And the monarch will say, I thought I had met a natural master of weave, but it seems not. Your power has been granted to you, which is just as well.
A natural master of what? Sorry?
The weave, what binds the planes together.
Who would be able to grant such a power?
Certain gods. There's a few.
Any that register themselves as the father?
two of them, yes.
What would it happen to be?
Well, one would be Odin. The other, Mechanus.
Can Esther do a religion check?
Sure.
Because I don't know who that is. Five.
What's the number? Ah, 5.
Oh no.
Could be the god of robots.
Fuck off.
Hold.
Yep. Okay.
Wait, that's illegal.
Ariel, was that your guess? Because that was
yes,
my guess.
that's my guess.
Okay.
What guess? Where was this song?
We're guessing at things when you were talking to Yema, but privately, just in
And-
my own brain, and then I typed that I had a guess, but I didn't specify. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I heard ticking noise, and I go,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly.
but anyways.
So I'm assuming Mechanus was the guess?
It's our guess.
Nice.
But
You don't know much about Mechanus. This is out of character,
Yeah, this is
Mhm.
meta knowledge.
pre-base knowledge. Yeah. So don't worry about it for now. Anyways, just like, okay, we can have time afterwards. Unless anyone has anything else pressing as right now to ask or discuss.
What just happened in the last 2 minutes that Connor was speaking?
Ariel and Devon have meta knowledge from another game. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ignore us.
Okay. Okay.
For that
sounds
at
good.
least.
Yes. That was out of character, as just saying in character, unless anyone has anything else pressing, and that can't wait until after we've dealt with the issue at hand. We know what we have to do.
Is there an alternative way into the area below, other than the obvious main stairs?
There are a number of caves.
I'd imagine they'd have to come in and go as somehow.
Yes. A number of caves on the bottom and the side of the island. Eventually they lead to below here.
How large are the caves? Just enough for the inhabitants, or remnants of the
They-
previous residents?
For the inhabitants, they did create the caves, although they themselves are rather large.
So you believe we'd be able to fit in there without issue?
May have to crouch. Well, some of you may have to crouch.
There's the very subtle grinding of teeth.
Esther laughs out loud, by the way.
Well, makes it easier on myself, at least.
Shall we be going then?
What
Um,
route would you recommend if you were to recommend any for us? I don't expect safety from any of them, but
If you expect a fight, might as well not waste time.
the direct approach? Ashta?
It has an appeal, but at the same time, I wanted it for revenge against that bastard.
And how
At the
many...
very least, you will have safety at your back.
There is that. I wouldn't trust him at all. Well, I wouldn't trust him, but I would expect him to lay traps along every possible route we could take, as long as his allies might permit such.
And
And I
Going
wouldn't be
to-
surprised by him finding some way to close off any retreat. If that's what he
if we
wants.
did have to retreat, this would be the best place to be closest.
Yes.
There
So,
are
Jack-
3 sets of stairs.
What's the difference?
Location.
That they're all within the castle?
There.
Is anyone
One.
closer to the resting place that you would know of?
The resting place is directly below where I stand.
Fairly
That-
direct either way? Anyway?
For the most part. The stairs to the northeast are mostly destroyed.
Hmm.
But maybe they won't expect it that way.
Real quick, out of character, can Fane be on the pinging lookout for Ix in the same way they can be on the pinging lookout for other Fane?
Yeah, almost exclusively for Ix and Fane. Yeah.
Okay. Then Ash will bring up, maybe have someone's Fane be on the lookout for Ix that aren't with me. Actually, speaking of which, is there a equivalent to you among the other side of this building or this island?
There is
Should we expect an almighty 1,000-year-old?
no. The last one was usurped by their child.
Where does that child stand in terms of ability?
Lesser.
What about
Right.
age?
Also lesser. Significantly.
100
they
years?
more than that.
500?
If I had to guess, 6, maybe 5.
Assuming the trend carries through for these type.
That being said, they do have Ix, just as I have Fane. Not as powerful, but
Troubling.
they are attuned to the Ix. Unlike most I've seen.
So where does that leave me then? In your professional 1,000 Fane opinion?
Confused, mostly. You are in the early stages. I can't say for sure. They have not taken over you. You have not eliminated them. At the moment, you both exist.
I have questions on that once we return. But for now, we only have so much time. Everyone, make your preparations.
How broken are the broken stairs? Severely? Still passable? We'll be
Passable by
forced
those
to
who can fly.
We'd be forced to fly.
You could crawl, but we don't use it because our wings don't fit, mostly, comfortably.
Out of
We don't-
character, is it feasible to bring our squads or no?
They're smaller than you are.
Mm.
Like, they could single file, probably.
I'm willing
What
to
we
comfortably
mean is,
down the stairs.
if flight is necessary down that.
It's not necessary. It's they don't have feet, so they don't have need for stairs.
Okay.
The stairs themselves, like the parts you'd stand on, are broken.
Let
it's-
the
it's
dwarves tumble.
So it's basically crumbling rock and stone.
All right. Rosalind's gonna off. We've got dwarves. They can inspect stonework.
They can
want-
indeed.
If anybody
want-
can.
I want to see a fountain of dwarves pour down a hole.
Hi ho! Hi ho! No!
Everyone line up and get on each other's shoulders, make a ramp.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Wait, what?
I want to take dwarves and go inspect the crumbly stairs and see if it's something that we would be able to take potentially.
Esther's going to ask, would you be potentially willing to send any of your kind to aid us, or no?
No, we cannot enter, or the truce is broken.
Understandable.
Ashika looked over. How much of a drop of population is required before the truths to be less of a concern?
The truce will not be broken by us.
Got it.
And if they break it?
Then the truce is broken.
And for the purpose of this, we do not currently affiliate our side of vague acquaintances. In case you have anything in writing. Yeah, like gives a shrug.
We will guard as we always have. If you and your kind are successful, I will be here.
Okay, guys, what staircase do we want to take, or do we want to randomize it? Because I can roll a d3.
I was gonna say, do the dwarves come back with any difference between the three?
Yeah, the one at the top right. It's like walking on a pile of gravel.
Okay.
Crunch, 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 but...
So deteriorated to the
done
point
now.
where it makes itself useful again.
Yeah, like you could, not like a small pile of gravel. Like imagine like snowdrift size gravel. Your feet
Okay.
would sink. It would be very difficult to do it quietly. That kind of thing.
Let's not. Okay,
Okay,
so...
the other ones then?
The one to the right, slightly wider entryway. It's the one to the left, a little bit more isolated, less chance for them to group up.
So basically, do we want to go... I don't think... We're invading. I don't think we want to bottleneck ourselves.
No.
Any more than necessary. So, the one on the right, the first one?
We could also split up into 2 squadrons.
No.
Bad idea.
No.
Never split the party.
Good idea. No.
Never split the party.
In real-world tactics, yeah, fine. Pincer maneuvers, yes. In D&D, good way to die.
Numbers don't like it.
Yeah. That's a real good way to fuck your action economy right in the ass.
Okay, so let's march everybody down that staircase. Sound good, everybody? Will that
Mhm.
work?
Ash is,
Yep.
Ash is doing scouting.
Okay.
we'll
Rosalind
leave-
is gonna be in the back with her squad in mid. Yes?
I think we'll leave the actual assault till next time.
Okay.
So if there's any last preparations you guys would like to make, let me know now.
Okay. No, I think
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. Then, next time, the assault of the basement. See you guys then.
Okay.
We're holding off for a hard second. Conrad?
Do I need to stop the recording before you ask anything, or you want this on?
No, I'm wondering because of the assault. Never mind, it's okay. We can
Is this
do
game
this.
relevant or not?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm saying it can be done next.
If it's preparations before you go downstairs, tell me now.
Not preparation.
If it's something you're doing before we go down the stairs, tell us now.
It can wait.
We want to get right in there next
That's
session.
fine. I think we're good.
All right.
Okay.
That's why it will wait.
We'll go ahead and end the recording then. Till next week.
All right.
Uh,